All right, guys. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact way that we use to set up Kakiyo for our clients and for us, and how it's booking them dozens and dozens of meetings each month. So the first step that you have to do is to create your account. So you just have to go to kakiyo.com and you can sign up directly using your email address. Once you've completed this first step, you will have to follow a simple 3-step process to set up Kakiyo the best way possible. So it's not very difficult to set up, but you have to set it up the right way in order to make the most out of it. Okay. So the first step that you have to follow is to create a product description. And what we mean by that is that you have to give to the AI information. It's basically knowledge on your product or your service. That way, it's going to make good messages for you. It's going to make good conversations for you when it comes to reaching out to your prospects. And it will be able to answer every questions the prospects are asking about specific features or specific things about your product. Okay. So to do that, you just have to go to product and then you'll click on add product. So you'll give a name to your product first. And then the second step is pretty easy. You'll just have to give the description to the AI. So to do that, you have 2 ways to do it. The first one is to scrape your website. So it's very simple. You just copy and paste your website link, and then you let the AI do the work. It will generate a description for you, which you will be able to edit, so you can add or remove whatever you want. And then the second way to do it is to type it manually. So what I recommend if you do that is that you keep the description between 30 to 50 lines. So 30 because less than this is not going to be enough, and 50 because more than this can be too much. And basically, the AI will not take all the info into account. So make sure to keep it between 30 to 50 lines. So let's just put test. And then you just create the product. Great. So now that you have your product, you will want to go to the second step. So the second step is the most important one. Okay. It's creating the prompt. It's nothing very difficult, but it's basically what is going to make your campaign a success or a failure when it comes to the quality of the messages and the quality of the conversations. So it has to be done the right way. So what you have to do is to go to prompts and you will click on add a prompt. So we will name it test. And you will select a model of AI that you want to use. So here it's like the difference is not going to be huge between all the models because it's pretty simple task. It's not very complex, but you can try different models because all of them will have like some differences. So what I recommend you to do is to try, for instance, 3.7 Sonnet and 4.1 because the difference is going to be more important between those two, and the results are going to be the best. It's like the most efficient, cost-efficient models. So I'm going to choose 4.1. And then you'll select the type of prompt. So for now, there is only messages, but in the future, there will be more related to commenting the post. So you will be able to make a prompt to comment the post before reaching out to the person. So for now, you just select messages and then you create the prompt. And now you have to go to edit prompt, but I'm going to show you one that is already done. Okay, so we go to Kakiyo main. And here there are a lot of info, but it's not very difficult. It's just about explaining to the AI how the conversation should go and what kind of messages you're looking for. Okay, so you have 2 types of prompts. The first type of prompt is going to be dedicated to the first message. And basically here, what you're going to want to do is to give very specific instructions to the AI for the first message, because the first message is the one that matters the most when you reach out to people on LinkedIn, especially. So it has to be done in a very specific way. And it's just about testing and see what works and what doesn't work. And based on that, you change the instructions and you iterate. So the first message and then the second prompt is the context. So the context is really about giving instructions for the entire conversation and how it should go. So should we ask very specific qualification questions? Should it be very direct or should it be more indirect? So it's really about testing different kind of things, but here it's really up to you. Now, you don't have to worry on this step because I will send you the prompt that we use as well. That way you can start from something and iterate on that. So you will be able to change the instructions and make something that fits what you're looking for in terms of like conversations and messages. So once you have your 2 prompts, you will want to test them before starting to send messages to everyone on LinkedIn. In order to do that, you will just have to click there. So make sure you save the changes first, and then you will have to click on test prompt. And here you will be able to simulate a LinkedIn conversation. So the whole idea about this is to test different things, be a good prospect, be a bad prospect, be a neutral prospect. The whole idea is really to see how the AI is reacting when it's facing different situations with prospects. And based on the messages that you get from the AI, you will iterate and you will change the instructions if you don't like them. So to test the prompt, you will select a product. So you will select the product that you've created, and then you'll select the goal. Okay, so we'll put book a demo. Then you will select the link and the fallback. So the fallback is pretty easy. It's like, since it's an AI, basically you can tell it to like execute an action if the prospect is not interested. So we will tell him to visit the website, for instance. It's like trying to keep him in a loop, but you could basically send him a lead magnet as well, and it would work perfectly fine as well. Okay, so you put the link, and then you choose the language that you want to reach out to those prospects. And here you start the test. Okay, so it's going to generate a fake conversation. Okay, it's based on a fake prospect, but it's really to see what kind of messages the AI is able to produce based on the description that you've given and based on the prompt that you've created. So it doesn't have to be that for you. It's really important that you like get that, because it could be completely different. It could be 10 times longer. It could be only 3 words. It's really up to you, and it's really about testing and changing the instructions that you give to the AI, depending on what type of messages the AI is writing. So here we have the message, and we will reply to the message. So don't forget, you are acting as the prospect, and we'll say, "Hi, Ilan. It's taking way too much time to personalize everything." Okay. So then we send the message, and then the AI is going to write basically a reply to that message. And based on that, you will just have to iterate or not. Okay. So if you like the message, then you will keep the same prompt. But if you do not like the message that the AI is writing to you, then you will just exit the test mode. And if it's the first message that you want to change, you will just go back to the constraints and you will change the instructions. And if you don't like the overall conversation, you just go to context and same thing, you change the instructions. And so once you've changed the instructions, you will just go back to test prompt and you make sure to save the changes first. And then you go back to test prompt and you test again and again. And so the best thing to do is to test 2 or 3 times each time you change the instructions. That way you can really see what kind of messages the AI will produce based on different situations. Okay, so now that you have your prompt, the next step to do is the last one, and it's the most simple one. Okay, it's the easiest one. You just have to go to campaigns, and here you are going to create a new campaign. And creating a new campaign is very easy. It's just about combining the different steps that you've done until now. So you will give a name to a campaign. Okay, so let's say campaign. Let's keep it simple. Then you click on continue, and then you will choose the product that you want to sell in this campaign. So for us, it's going to be Kakiyo, okay? But it will be the product that you've created when you created the product description. Then you click on continue, and then you will select a prompt, okay? So it's the prompt that you've just made. But if you have different templates of prompts, you just select the one that you want to use. And then the last step to do is to fill the variables. So if in your prompt you have set variables, so basically you will have to fill them here. And what I mean by variables is that if you want to use your prompt in different campaigns, but in those campaigns, you have different goals. For instance, in campaign 1, you want to book a meeting, and in campaign 2, you just want to send a lead magnet. Instead of making two different prompts, you will make one prompt, and you will not put, if the prospect is interested, book a meeting with him. You will put, if the prospect is interested, variable goal. So you can see in my prompt that this is exactly what we've done. And basically, you will be able to fill the value of the variable in the campaign creation. Okay, so here we want to book a demo for this campaign. Okay, so we'll book a demo, then we put the link of the demo, and then we put the fallback because this was as well a variable. So you just put visit the website, you click on next, and then you click, so you put the link. So just put link because I don't have a link at the moment. You put the link of your fallback, and then you will choose the language of the outreach. So here we will choose English, and then you click on complete. Okay, and once you've done that, you're almost ready to go. Okay, the next step is just choosing the AI agent that you want to use. So it's like the LinkedIn account that is connected to the AI agent. Basically that you're going to use to reach out to the prospect. So I'm going to choose mine, and then you click on finish. So the campaign setup is done. All right, and now the only thing left to do is to upload the list of prospects. So it's pretty simple. You just select a CSV, and here you are going to click on continue, and then you are going to be able to see all the fields that are in the CSV file. Okay, so this specific CSV was made to reach out to companies recruiting SDRs. So in this CSV, we have many info on the company, and we have info on the job offer description as well. And basically, when the AI is going to reach out to your prospects on LinkedIn, we will have all the info on their LinkedIn profile. So we have what they do, we have their LinkedIn post, we have info on their company as well. So we have all those info. But if you want to add more info and give more context to the AI, you can just add those info into the CSV and select the columns that you want to use. And it will be given basically to the AI as additional information. And that way you have more context. And if you want to tell the AI to use very specific information that comes from this CSV list, you can just give an instruction to the AI directly in the prompt. The only fields that are required are those three fields. So the first one is the first name, of course. The last name is the second one. And the last one is the LinkedIn URL. Okay. And once you have those three steps, those three fields, all the other fields are optional. So if you do want to put them, you can put them. Otherwise, and it will be given as additional info. And if you do not want to put them, you can just get rid of them and it will be deleted, basically. Now that you have chosen which fields you want to keep, you just have to click on import selected columns. And once you have done that, you just have to wait. And then the campaign is ready to go and the AI will start automatically. And so you don't have to do anything anymore. Basically, the AI will just do its work, and you will not have to reply to messages anymore. You will not have to manage conversations, handle objections or questions or whatever. The AI is doing all that for you. And you just have to go to the meetings that are booked by the AI, qualified meetings, and you just have to close them. That's the deal. You just have to do that, basically. Now, if you want more info on the product and you need us to help you set up the product the right way, you can just book a demo directly using the link that is provided in the Notion document. Otherwise, if you have any questions regarding the product, you can just click on the intercom at the bottom right and ask your question by sending us a message, and we'll reply to you as soon as possible.